And we are back live for the final time this evening here on TTTV. It's the final round of the Esports Mini League Asia and Pacific Series, and it comes from the Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. If you're just there for the final, the last race there at Suzuka in Japan, what a frantic finish we've seen. Flying Finn crashing out from third place with the finish line about 100 metres away, caused a huge stramash in the background, dropped him out of the race, promoted Sinclair up into the podium positioning as well, but it still didn't make too much of a dent because VSR still took a 1-2 and they hold an 81 point lead going into this final round this evening with a maximum of 85 points up for grabs. It basically means that TTG, who are in second, need to finish first, second, third and fourth, and Visceral don't score at all. That's the only way Visceral will lose this. So they could easily just toddle around at the back and still win this one. But like all the drivers here this evening, no one's going to sit back and do this one. Alan, we're looking forward to what's going to be a phenomenal final race. How do you see this one shaping up, my friend?
I'm looking forward to it. These visceral guys aren't going to sit back. The pace they've got and the competitiveness that they've got in them. As we've seen, they've played the team game, but they still battle each other where they can and where they have to. So,
Definitely so.
I would definitely expect to see Blizzards up around the top end, the Flying Fin. Again, I'd expect to see maybe Squeezy, TTG, Sinclair up there. Javier has had a great night so far. He's been up there as well in boat races so far. It'd be nice to see him up there. Maybe if One Hook can get one or two of their guys up there as well, then. And I have to say though, it's been an excellent tournament debut from the Spanish team Innovate and One Hub Racing as their debut as an esports team. So fair play to both of them guys.
No, it has been good. There's been some really good driving tonight, some really good overtaking. Looking forward to the final round here. I think what we'll do actually for this flying lap is we'll actually go on board with Javier in the Mercedes, and we will take a lap around the track with him in just a few moments time. If you are in watching the stream and you're in the chat, you'll notice I've just posted a couple of wee bits that I'm just about to finish up, and one of them is the new Project Cars series. It starts up here on TTTV next Saturday. I'll give you more details about that later on because that starts very, very soon. The other one is a wee cheeky link to my own channel if you're interested, but you know what, I can't help but self-promote myself. But anyway, on board with Javier in the Mercedes heading down towards turn number 1 here at Abu Dhabi. Find the braking point, fourth gear, about 90 miles an hour, and then just get on the power as quickly as possible. Use all of the runoff area in this rubble strip through turns through and turn 3. Going to punish the tyres through there, through turn 4, very easy corner there, and then braking point into turn 5, quickly chicane down to second gear for the second part, and then up towards turn number 7, which is the hairpin. And you want to get a good run out of here because DRS zone comes up just past this Pirelli overhang in there. Here it is, DRS zone now wide open of the rear wing and heading up towards turn number 8. This is going to be the best overtaking zone on the circuit. Around about 100 metres down the gears to second. A little bit of a lock-up. Missed the apex there from the Spaniard. He's able to collect it back together through turn 9. Now through the curve of turn 10. The second DRS zone is right here. You got another chance to overtake into turn number 11. Again, just bring it briefly to the right-hand side of the track. Hard on the brakes. Again, just missing the apex into the first part. Puts them out of place for the second part through 12 and 13. And now we're into the twistier section through 14. This next bit's a little bit quick. Lambo's retired from the session, and there you're going to be starting to brake and downshift while you're still turning here to come along the hotel section. You now go underneath the hotel, the walkway just above there, and then through this left-hander. Very easy to get wide and catch the wall there. We come up to the final two corners through turns 20 and 21. Reflow, the latest one to drop out, as is Larynx as well. Javier goes across the line. He is going to take 4th position, but it's Blizzard who takes a clean sweep pole positions here tonight. He's pole position in Singapore, pole position in Japan, and he is now pole position for this race here at Abu Dhabi, as nearly half the grid end up either retiring out of the qualifying lap or DQ'd. But it is Blizzard who takes pole position, and that is a clean sweep of pole positions for the VSR driver. Puts him in the perfect place to get the job finished and add the Asia Pacific Series to the European Series that they won the last month as well. We'll run you through the qualifying order just now. There you go. So it's Blizzard in a 33.5 in pole position with Squeezy in second, so over half a second between first and second. Brilliant lap time from Blizzard there. Pole gets it into third, having a bit of a better time here as Javier we were on board with in fourth. Dainstar up in the fifth, Sinclair in sixth, Doncool in seventh, Flying Finn in the eighth place, and there it was Boar, White Fountain, Reflow, Lambo, Magic, Victor and Larynx all disqualified from the session. So only 8 drivers completed a lap there, and just under half the field, completing the lap, and those in the top 8.
Well, and during that no Lewis for VSR, and I just seen VSR Odems or Marques's as other people in his other name join in halfway through qualifying and didn't get to qualify.
I was wondering why we had only 15 for qualifying. So we're missing one there. There you go. Lambo in the chat, I have no setup. Oh, that won't be proven too good. He's going to be stuck on default.
All the M's will be stuck on default as well, having joined late as well. So not good for the two VSR guys there. Hope for TTG?
It's a long shot. It's a very long shot indeed, considering it's only 4 points away. They only need 4 points, VSR, to take the victory here tonight. But as the great Murray Walker would always say, F1 is if spelt backwards and anything can happen. Let's just run through the tyres. So the top 8 are on the Hypersofts they qualified on. We go down to 9th, which is Boar on the Ultrasofts. White Fountain's gone for Hypers. His teammate Reflow's gone the opposite way with the Ultrasoft. Lambo and Magic are on Hypersoft. Victor, Larynx and Odems, aka VSR Marquez, as he's sometimes known as, he takes the Hypers with Larynx and Victor on the Ultrasoft tyres. So Lewis not making this final round, so Odems drops in his place instead. Looks like he's decided to pick up the Red Bull because he just fancied being a little bit different, which is no problem at all. We can deal with that. We all know Odems is a bit of a character in the F1 community, but you know, he's always one for trying things a little bit differently, isn't he?
Yeah, he likes it. He likes the opposite approach, is probably the best way to put it.
But he's definitely a very quick driver, so from the back of the field we'll still need to keep an eye on his progress as the race goes on.
Still challenge. There's no doubt about it, he will still challenge from where he's put, where the game will put him. Just how much I would expect maybe Lambo, Flying Finn, Sinclair and Squeezy then to hold them up if he was to make a run at it. So it's how quick he can clear all them. His teammates probably quicker than the TTG guys, but there is stumbling blocks in his way from there as well.
There's plenty to look out for, but we've at least got 16 drivers watching Flying Finn in 8th place at the moment, coming through to complete the formation lap, and technically he's the only driver to DNF tonight in the last round with that amazing crash at the end of the race that just no one expected to see at all, crashing into the pit wall. He did admit on the stream, which is respect to him for doing it. He was looking behind at the cars behind, having a battle through the Casio Triangle, and he just didn't see what was going on ahead. So he's the only DNF so far in the race. But if you take that away, pretty much, because he was only 100 metres from the line, everybody's finished so far. Unfortunately, Poe did have a disconnection at the end there, and that could have made the points a little bit closer. Well. Yeah, so that could have made the points a little bit closer in the battle here. But here we go, we're waiting for the lights to come on for the final time this evening. Ignore the red lights going out. You want to watch the rev counter, as we've noticed in the previous weeks as well. And they're going to go live for the final time this evening. We're underway at the Yas Marina circuit, and who's got the good starts here? Blizzard's managed to get away. Squeezy is trying to get by. That is Danestar going through the middle of Poe and Javier. Lambo's going through, getting caught up. Flying Finn is going side by side as well with Doncool and Sinclair coming down towards the breaking point of turns 5 and 6, and it's Flying Finn to the inside as Doncool goes to the outside. Oh, there's contact there. That's front wing damage for Doncool, and he now Flying Finn in the middle. Oh, there's contact all over the place. There's 3 wide.
But squeeze is through nicely there.
But Danestar through the middle in turn 1 manages to get himself up into 3rd position. Squeezy fancies his chances of having a look up the inside. Danestar going for a late lunge on Squeezy there, and he's unable to get the move done. And where's the TV remote? Because it's telling me if I don't change it, it's going off.
Yeah, Finn off there as well as he's
3 wide.
Sinclair as well.
Oh, we're going 3 wide. Flying Finn pulls into the slipstream there. It's Sinclair, Doncool, Flying Finn. Who's going to come out at the end of this? Flying Finn, Sinclair. We've got Vor going up the inside. Yellow flags out. There's a Renault off in the background.
Background in the wall.
It's Magic and in the wall. He is out the race sideways, just 3 into 1 in a tight section.
Safety car. Virtual safety car.
That's good, because I'm being told if I don't press a button in 5 minutes, the telly's going off. Where is it? But plenty going on there. 3 wide it looked like.
That down the second straight there. The very quick snappy sideward movements of Flying Finn could very easily be construed as trying to netcode another driver, which is an illegal manoeuvre in this tournament, so you need to be careful of that when we get going again. As they all pour into the pits to try and get the free pit stop on the virtual safety car, and Flying Finn pushing Sinclair into the pits there. I don't know whether he picked up any damage, and Paul was gone from the session again as well.
And that's from 4th place as well. Virtual safety car looks like it might be coming to an end as many of them decide to take the chance, and the virtual safety car ends. We're back underway. It's still Blizzard leading from Squeezy in 2nd, Javi in 3rd, Poe is in 4th, but that car is ghosting at the moment. The driver has unfortunately left the session having issues one more time. It's not going to help TTG in any way at all. Boar's in 5th place with Victor in 6th place. They've got Larynx behind in 7th, and having a drag race down towards the braking zone for turn number 8. Does any of them fancy a chance? Victor goes up the inside. He's Innovate teammate. Can Larynx take advantage of anything here? Unable to do so at the moment. It has to pull in beside and hold on. You can see the ghost car there ahead of Poe. So they're going to get past easy peasy. They won't, but will it put any of the drivers off seeing that car ahead? Because they'll always be concentrating, especially if you're bored. He's in the middle of all this. Oh, Victor manages to just go through Poe, and they've all held on and avoided any contact. But it's interesting to see quite a few of them have gone on to super soft tyres. Reflow's gone on to hyper softs, which is a very random one. Yeah,
it's strange from this distance. I don't think Hyper Simply would have to stop again and maybe do a second Hyper Stint from this distance. I can't see him being stretched out that much.
Here's the thing as well to bear in mind. Obviously, you've got everyone up to Poe. Poe's obviously ghosting at the moment.
Darren,
so Sinclair.
Darren would have. Sinclair would have at the moment, and with the pit lane here and with the gap times there. TTG Sinclair would be sitting around the net lead of the race at the moment.
Yes, it's a very, very long pit lane. It obviously cuts under through turn 1 and comes and spits you back out into turn number 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So you've got to be very, very careful. We'll keep an eye going on, but Magic out of the race, and it was just through that twisty section at turns number 11, 12 and 13. It looks like it was 3 into 1. It was just never going to go from the camera angle that I had there, and he just got pitched into the wall. We'll see, obviously, driver's point of view can always be a little bit different to what we see, obviously, so we'll hold off judgment. Boar's outbraked himself. Boar's outbraked himself there and nearly collected his teammate. And Larynx gets by. Yep, so it was the Mercedes outbraking himself. He nearly collected the Renault of his Innovate teammate Victor, and that would not have been good if he had done that.
That would not have been, especially with one IVR driver gone already. But as they're going through the section where Magic went into the wall there, it is possible as well, if you're too greedy on that towards the apex of that second, like the right hand curve coming through that little chicane sort of there, the curb can spin you off into the wall there as well, so that could be a possibility as well.
Possibility of that as well. Squeezy is right on the of Blizzard. We're going to have DRS enabled very shortly. Javier's not too far off the back of these guys either, so he's keeping them very honest indeed. He's keeping them very honest there in that Mercedes. Larinac still looking to get away past Victor as well. But plenty going on here at the start of this race, and obviously to say Bor nearly into the back of Victor in that last lap. You remember last week the two Ferraris for one hub crashed into each other in the last race and took each other down positions, so you don't want to be doing that because that's going to cost your team plenty of points. Here goes Squeezy under DRS into turn number 8 on Blizzard. Blizzard's going to hang it round the outside. Can he keep the first position? He does at the moment, but Squeezy's going to have another dose of DRS. Down towards turn number 11. Can he get it done? The McLaren's having to go the long way round. Need to be careful into here, guys. They're wheel to wheel. Blizzard holds on and Squeezy has to pull back in. There's no way through there, but Blizzard's got a bit wide. Squeezy's up the inside line and he gets the move done. Blizzard's going to... Oh no, they're not going to go side by side through here. Please, no. Oh my goodness me, this is going to end in tears.
How's your braking through there side by side? That's a very difficult place
contact
to brake.
Again, but Squeezy manages to get the move done. These two were obviously the top two championship protagonists in TTL.
Right on the back of them now as well.
Absolutely, but they're both heading for pit lane. So we're going to jump back.
This is Javier onto the lead of the race.
Absolutely, so we're going to jump back to Flying Finn, who's right over the back of Dainstar, coming up towards the end of Sector 2. They've got the Ghost car, a pole up ahead. That might have put Dainstar off because he's gone wide, but Flying Finn's made a mess up it as well, and Reflow goes through. Dainstar's run wide, he's got past as well, so Reflow gains 2 places underneath the hotel. Flying Finn still side by side with Dainstar as they come into the final 2 corners, but he has to back out at the moment, and the Salba holds on, but Reflow very opportunistic there as they two had a bit of a battle between themselves. He went, thank you very much, I'll have those 2 places, and up into 8th position. Very opportunistic driving there from the one hub driver.
The Squeezy and Blizzard there just both dropped just out ahead of TTG Sinclair over the pits.
Just ahead, but Squeezy maintains that position. He gained just before they pulled into pit lane as Odems picks up a 3-second time penalty. He was one of those to drop into pit lane, so we've not seen him in the race yet. He's going to move up to 11 shortly. Blizzard under DRS, he's going squeezed on the braking area. A little bit of a tap there, but he's able to get away with that. These two, as I was saying, these two were fighting over the TTL F1 Championship, which Blizzard picked up on Thursday evening with a 2nd place. Squeezy's been extremely quick in the second half of the season. Oh, Blizzard gives him a little bit of a thinking move there. That was a bit unsure there, but Squeezy holds on. Contact through the chicane section. Blizzard is now going to repay the favour of what Squeezy did last time round. They're still side by side. They're going to go side by side through here again.
Sure Squeezy has a shallow line through that one. But again, still side by side on and then bang a wheels again from them.
Need to calm down a little bit, guys.
It's a 5-second stop go.
Need to just calm down a little bit here, fellas. Just a little bit bumping.
Javier could benefit from this if these guys battling so.
Squeezy's gone very wide in the last corner. Squeezy wide in the second last corner. Javier in the pits. That puts Larinac into the lead of the race from Victor and Bor.
Way out of the pit right now. He's coming down under the track. Right out to the guys.
I can just see there, you just see his gamer tag, but he's going to be close.
Just run around up under, it's going to be close, it's just behind him.
So he's where he was just before the pit stop phase, right in view of the McLaren and the Haas, and we're now into a 3-way scrap for what is going to be the virtual lead of the race.
Up onto the back of them fairly quickly here as well with them battling.
Very much indeed. Keep an eye on this. This is the closest battle on the track. It's for 4th, 5th, 6th and soon to be 7th as Blizzard takes the inside line. He takes as much of the track as he needs. Squeezy's backed off early there to try and get the cut back. Oh, he's bumped into the back of the Haas there. Hopefully no damage to either car. Blizzard's got the move done. Squeezy down to 5th place now. Javier is going to fancy his chances. These two, Squeezy and Javier, have been pretty much in the same bit of track all 3 races so far. Lovely overhead shot into turn number 11, but but the McLaren holds on for now, and the Mercedes just has to back out of it for the meantime. But plenty going on, but it's Larinax leading from Victor and Bohr, so it's TTG, Innovate, and then it's Blizzard in fourth. He's going to be your virtual leader of the race once the top three do come into pit lane. Squeezy in fifth place, Javi sixth, Sinclair starting to catch up to the back of these guys in seventh, Reflow in eighth, Flying Finn down in ninth place, Dainstar in 10th. There's Odoms in the Red Bull for VSR in this final race, replacing Lewis in 11th. Donkul 12th, VSR Lambo in 13th. He's already mentioned he doesn't have a setup, so he's stuck on a default setup and pitted in the first lap with a virtual safety car. White Fountain 14th. And Poe is not in this race, so we're actually down to 14 runners in this race. Here goes Javier one more time. We're now halfway through the race. Can Javier get the move? He's going to go to the outside. He's got much more speed. Squeezy's... Oh, wow.
Squeezy making move back.
That looked a good move to me.
Yeah, Javier out defensive. Can he get the drive now?
Yellow flag in sector 1 somewhere. It's going out now, but Javier had much more speed. Odems is retired. Flying Finn's out.
Flying Finn too.
So
this is a big boost to TTG. Lambo stuck on a default setup running in 10th. What's the chances of him crashing?
You never know, although Blizzard's obviously up there in fourth, about to be retaking the lead of the race, but twice earlier this season in TTL, Baku is Javier and Squeezy. They're actually bumping each other. They're playing NASCAR right now. Javier goes right off the track and then just pulls it in front of Squeezy there. I'm sure Squeezy will not be too chuffed at that at all. These two just need to calm down a little bit. It's getting a little bit aggressive here with some good moves.
Letting Blizzard away.
It's letting Blizzard get away as well, absolutely. But as I was just saying, in TTL F1 back at Azerbaijan, the fourth round of the season, me and Kieran were talking about how comfortable it looked for Blizzard out in front, and he crashed into the castle section and out of the race. So it's not over yet. You never know. But if
picks up penalties as well.
Yeah, but if Lambo can keep going, at least it won't really matter. Blizzard sets the fastest lap of the race in a 1:36.5. We're on lap 80.14 here at Abu Dhabi for the final round of the Asia Pacific Esports Mini League. TTTV is obviously brought to you by Weak Wi-Fi Solutions and A Logo UK. Do check them out for any Wi-Fi and logo solutions that you need. You can find them on Twitter if you just follow as well to TTGaming also, and you'll be kept up to date with all the leagues and events that are run by TTG as well. And obviously one of those, as I've been mentioning in the chat, is next week, a brand new Project Cars 2 League starting on Saturday. 2 races each night for 8 weeks, and it's the Formula C, Formula 3 cars, default setups as well, so you don't need to worry about having to be a setup master. If you want to come and join, give me a shout on Twitter, Andy81287, or give Alan a shout, and or drop on to TTP Cars on Twitter if you want to get involved with that. Well, I've got a platform, I might as well promote.
Sure, why not? Yeah, come along, get involved, guys. Andy will be in the box and I'll be on track. So
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Those cars are really, really fun to drive. But we shall see. That will be next week, though.
They're fun to drive when you have a setup for them. I'm struggling a little bit without the setup, but I'm sure.
You'll get used to it.
It's also racing anyway, which is the main thing, which is what we're all looking for. So
definitely, so you'll get used to it, don't worry about it. Victor and Bohr out in front for Innovate, as Bohr's just headed for pit lane as well. So Victor into the lead, Blizzard up into second place, Javier is in third place after that. Frantic action with Squeezy. We've seen a lovely move down into what was turn number 5 and 6, just swept around the outside in a McLaren and got through. Victor picks up a time penalty. That's not going to help Innovate at all, as Dainstar has just got himself past White Fountain. Looks like it was a pretty easy move there because the Ferraris dropped off the back very quickly. Those guys are obviously teammates in one hub, so probably a bit of tactics going on there. We've got a little bit. This is the first time tonight, Alan, we've actually had a little bit of quiet in the race. It's amazing that it's taken this long.
When you say it's taking this long, it's not just the first time tonight. It's the first time in the mini league series where it's over the whole 6 races. So
absolutely.
Kind of probably one of the tracks that maybe as well would have been expected to maybe cause that sort of racing. As you know, but 3 guys crashed out, we've got 1 disconnected, so we're down to 12 racers. So when you have, as you start reducing the number of races. There's less battles and more gaps in starting form. Doesn't help with the distance of, or the length of Yas Marina circuit, and in my opinion and many other drivers' opinion, it's a pretty poor circuit as well, so that doesn't help it in its failing order. But
Yeah, I mean, for me, in terms of a track itself, it's a very interesting track technically, but in terms of from a spectacle point of view, it doesn't, you know, for me, it doesn't bring up a lot of good races. We've seen that a lot in real life as well. As Sinclair gets out of the way of Larynx, who's on a brand new set of hypersauce, going up into
for
fifth
me,
place. But yeah, it's not the most
Kimi
spectacle.
Raikkonen sums it up best for me. The first couple of corners are fun to drive, the rest of it's pretty much.
And obviously, as he's famously said in the radio, he knows what he's talking about and he knows what he's doing. Yeah. So, definitely one. But it is a technical track, but it's a very spectacle track with a hotel as well. Obviously, with the cars go underneath that towards the end of Sector 3. So, it's just one of those tracks, unfortunately. And hopefully, we can still see some action before the end of the race. But mind you, Kieran last week said that Melbourne, the final race we had last week, was going to be one of those ones he thought wasn't going to be too good, and it ended up being an absolute barnstormer.
Probably the best race of the night last week was Melbourne.
Yeah, One Hub Racing in the chat, and yep, absolutely, thank you very much for that. Big shout out to TTG for organising the event with such professionalism. We thank you for your kind words. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage from myself and Alan tonight, and from myself and Kieran last week as well. It's been absolutely fantastic to have the likes of yourselves, Visceral Racing, Innovate, and even CPI last week as well along for the ride. It's been really good fun. I really do enjoy doing these events. There's so much fun. There's always apart from this bit here now, unfortunately, there's usually a lot of action going on with these short races. It means you can't just sit and wait. You've kind of got to go for it, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Don't know when the next one's going to be, but I'm looking forward to it already. I don't know about you, Alan.
Yeah, definitely. Even whether it's in the box or just keeping score in the chat or whatever it is, if I'm called upon to race and get out onto the track, so be it. Or just being involved makes it's just so much fun. But such close, tight racing, and it's a good tight knit community as well when you have such teams that are so quick but yet so close. And yeah, it's aggressive, but it's also respect and fair for the other teams and the other drivers, and you want to do it the best way possible and not dirty. With One Hub there, shout out, just have to mention as well again, One Hub and Innovate. This tournament was both of their debut tournaments in esports racing, so excellent job to both One Hub and Innovate for the first tournaments. Brilliant debut, guys, and hope to see more in the future.
Definitely, so hope to see both of them back around. Maybe we'll see a few of their drivers here on TTTV involved in some of the league racing coming up across F1 or Project Cars. It'd be very good to have a few of their drivers along, because I've seen some fantastic stuff. Currently watching Reflow, one of the One Hub drivers, Victor, is back out in 6th place, having come into the pits finally from the lead off the race. Javier is still in 2nd. He's been doing really, really well tonight, Javier. Some aggressive driving, some good moves as well though through the race, and he's been up and about there at the top end through all 3 races tonight, and he's trying to chase Blizzard down and see if he can take a victory for Innovate in the final race, as Larynx goes past Squeezy into turn 1, and I'm sure Squeezy didn't fight that one too much for the Toro Rosso on the Hypersoft tyres. Lap 12 of 13, 3 laps to go, including the one they're on, and Blizzard is out in front just now as Boar is having a fight with Reflow and just got past him into turn number 1, so it's another move for Innovate. They now occupy 2nd, 6th and 7th with their 3 remaining drivers. Magic unfortunately out of the race on the first lap around that tricky 11, 12 and 13 section. Multiple cars into one just wasn't going to go. Not too sure exactly what happened, but it caused a few issues. Odems jumped into this race in place of Lewis, but unfortunately we lost him early doors as well. Didn't see too much of the charismatic enigma that he is. And Flying Finn out of the race as well. That's his 2nd race that he's out of as well, having crashed dramatically within 100 metres of the finish line in Japan last time out, well in 3rd position. But at the moment with Blizzard up there at the top and Lambo running 10th. Even if Blizzard drops out at the moment, if Lambo finishes, it's going to be sayonara and another esports mini league victory for Visceral Racing. But Javier kind of fancies his chances of taking some personal spoils and taking a victory here. Yellow flag in sector 2, that's Doncool out of the race. We'll see if we can pick up what's happened to the Salba as we jump on board with his One Hub teammate White Fountain. Let's see, where is that Salba? See if we can find it. Yellow flag. Oh, he's on the right hand side.
Right inside. He looks like he's lit it up on the curb on the exit of the chicane in the middle of the straights, and pitched himself around into the wall by the looks of it.
Would be the most likely scenario. Javier's now within DRS range on the penultimate lap. That Mercedes is looking absolutely rapid at the moment. And Blizzard, we know Blizzard to be a very quick driver indeed. But at the moment, Javier's looking like he's got the bit between his teeth. He's got the DRS now, heading down this long straight. He will not make it easy, no. He will defend this as much as possible. We know how much he loves to win, and he will do what he can. He feels he's got it covered off at the moment with his braking point. He's able to hold on for now through turns 8 and 9. Javier will have another go under DRS heading towards turn number 11. We're on board with the Mercedes, and look at the closing speed here. That's going to be pretty easy coming into turn 11. He's got the move done easily done there before the braking zone. I don't think, as much as Blizzard normally doesn't fight it, maybe those tyres are going off a little bit with his setup there, and he's rather thinking of the full picture here, making sure he gets to kart at the end so that Visceral can win the league.
That went in under the virtual safety car. Blizzard was one of the first ones to pit at normal pit stop, so maybe tyres starting to feel the effects at this stage.
Quite possibly. That puts Javier into the lead for Innovate. I'm sure the Innovate fans that are watching, we've seen them throughout the stream in the chat, will be absolutely delighted with that as the Spaniard leads going into the final lap here at the Yas Marina circuit for the final race tonight here of the Esports Mini League Asia Pacific Series. We'll obviously let Alan pick up the scores and give us the final results once everybody has crossed the line. I think we obviously know who is going to be taking the overall victory, but it'll be interesting to see what the final tallies are and who finishes exactly where.
When you look at VSR Flying Fin, VSR RMs are crashed out. Paul hasn't didn't got back in after disconnecting, and you've got VSR Lambo running in ninth. There's plenty of points there for Innovate and One Hub in their little battle here, so this could be interesting.
Definitely so. Currently watching Victor closing in under DRS in the back of Sinclair's Toro Rosso. Does he fancy a lunge? He's a bit too far back for that. Best thing to do is to just get as good an exit out of turns 8 and 9 and along towards turn number 11. He's going to get another dose of DRS heading down the back straight here. That's where the support pits are on the right hand side. He goes to the outside line, which is the racing line. Sinclair late on the brakes. He's on older tyres that are 12 laps old, and Victor with a very nice move round the outside on those fresher Hypersoft tyres takes 5th place for Innovate. That's going to be very, very good for them. We'll obviously wait and see how things go as they cross the line, because penalties come into effect. But on the road, it has been a great night for Javier, and he's going to take the victory here at Abu Dhabi. He crosses the line in first place, but he loses the race on the line due to penalties, and Blizzard takes the victory. Larinix takes second, having finished third on the road. Javier drops down to third place. TTG Squeezy takes 4th, Sinclair 5th, Victor takes 6th after that late move, but Sinclair then jumps ahead of Victor on penalties as well, so the move didn't really matter too much. Bohr takes 7th, Reflow coming through the final couple of corners, having just picked up another bit of time penalty there, but he won't be too fussed at that. He takes 8th position. Lambo, having driven with a completely default setup in this race, will just be happy that's over and crosses the line in 9th position. White Fountain just coming through the hotel section just now for One Hub. He's going to take 10th place. The final finisher is going to be Danestar for One Hub, just there in the background, the Salbat in 11th. Pole is classified as 12th, but he was never back in control of the car. It's the second time tonight he's then disconnected, unfortunately, so that'll be no points as Danestar crosses the line. But your winner on penalties is Blizzard, and it's a shame for Javier because he drove very well in that race. I would say he's drove very well most of this evening, but penalties drop him down, and that means Visceral Racing win all 3 races here tonight, and obviously we already know it means they're going to be crowned the Esports Mini League champions for the second time this season, have added the Asia Pacific Series to their European crown they won in January. Alan's just frantically totting up the totals there so we can get the final standings. We'll keep the stream live until the end of that. Larynx there in the PSN chat for TTGaming, very happy with second place, and he drove very well coming through the field on that alternative strategy. As the results come in, Blizzard takes the victory. Larynx in second, Javier in third. 9 seconds worth of penalties costing him the race victory in the end. He won't be too chuffed at that, but he's driven very well this evening. Squeezy takes 4th with Sinclair in 5th, Victor in 6th place, Bor 7th, Reflow 8th, Lambo 9th, White Fountain 10th, Danestar is 11th, and your last runner, Poe, classified 12th but was out of the session and not in control of the car. Don Cool retired, as did VSR Fly and Finn. Odems, who dropped in for this race, dropped out pretty quickly as well, and Magic out on the first lap, and not a single driver with no penalties. Everyone picked up at least 3 seconds or more. I seen one driver in there with 17 seconds worth of penalties, so it just shows you with all the runoff area, people pushing the limits and getting a few penalties, and it's cost Javier what would have been a deserved victory in my opinion, but it meant Blizzard made it a VSR clean sweep at the top step of the podium for the final round. It's been a great 2 weeks worth of action. We're just waiting on the final scores. Thank you very much to everybody for dropping in and watching.
The event, they're done. So after round 6, Visceral Racing finished the event on 379 points, taking the title. TTG finishing second place with 317 points. One Hub Racing just held on to their third place with 240 points, and a very close run by Innovate, who finished on 217.
So there we go, the final standings. VSR 379, not as big a gap as it was at the start of this race, with TTG gaining up and VSR only having 2 scorers in that race. But it's another victory in the eSport Mini Series for Visceral Racing. Congratulations to the team and their drivers on another victory, adding the Asia Pacific Series to the European Series they won back at the start of the year in January. Congratulations to TTG for taking second place, One Hub on third, and Innovate in fourth place. And again, congratulations to both those teams making their debuts as esports teams here in this series. Thank you very much for choosing us and coming along for the ride that we've had. If you have been watching, thank you very much for watching through this evening and last week as well. I hope you've enjoyed your Saturday evening's worth of entertainment from myself and Alan tonight, and myself and Kieran last week as well. If you haven't already done so, do hit the subscribe button to TTTV. Be updated if you hit the bell icon as well of all the times we go live with all the series and any other special events that go on as well. Follow them on TTGaming Esports on Twitter as well to be updated with what's going on there. Go follow the teams as well if you've been watching along and you're not part of any of them. But we thank each and every one of you for coming along for the ride. Alan, it's been a great couple of weeks. Any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Yeah, it was a great tournament. I suppose quick thought on driver of the night tonight for me would have to be the Spaniard Javier. He had a very good night. Overall, the quality of racing was very good. It was only that final race we got gaps in the field. So overall, it was a good event, and just congratulations to Visceral, and once again, yeah, great debut from the One Hub and Innovate guys, and we hope to see them back in our events again in the future as well.
Definitely so. Fantastic stuff it's been. We hope you've all enjoyed the entertainment over the last 2 weeks. Coming up on TTTV tomorrow night, it's TTL F2. It follows the same calendar as TTL F1, so it's 2 races at 25% in the one evening. They're going to the Circuit of the Americas in the USA and the Mexican Grand Prix tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock. Tuesday night is TTL F1. They are going to the final 2 rounds, Brazil on Tuesday and Abu Dhabi on Thursday as they round up season number 12, with season 13 coming very, very soon. Blizzard already signed up the championship with his 4th TTL F1 championship, but the constructors is still up for grabs going into the final 2 rounds. And obviously TTFL is off next week because the season is finished. There's a Classic Cup happening on Friday night at 8 o'clock, and I'm back in the box here for TTTV next Saturday with that brand new Project Cars League. And as I said earlier, if you do want to get involved, do drop me a message. There's still a couple of spaces up for grabs. But my name's been Andy. I've had Alan in the box this week for myself, Alan, Kieran, everyone that runs here at TTTV and all the teams involved. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care of yourself and we'll see you again soon. Ta-ra.